In the past few weeks, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, have dominated news headlines on the internal crisis brewing within the party being the major focus. Since the standard-bearer, Atiku Abubakar, picked Ifeanyi Okowa as his running mate, members loyal to Nyesom Wike have berated the party for the way the River State governor was treated. This has led to calls by some PDP members for the party to visit Wike and mend things up with the governor. Reacting to the crisis within the party, the PDP Board of Trustees Chairman, Senator Walid Jibrin, said that when the party's presidential candidate and the national chairman, Senator Ayocha Ayu, returned to Nigeria, that a visit must be undertaken to Governor Wike, comprising of himself, Atiku Abubakar, Ifeanyi Okowa, Ayocha Ayu, and some other members of the party. The BOT chairman also noted that Governor Wike is a very responsible and obedient member of PDP who assisted tremendously towards building the party to what it is today. Joining us on the show this morning as we discuss ways the party can resolve this crisis is Jacob Mark, former National Legal Advisor of the People's Democratic Party. Good morning and welcome to the morning show.
Good morning.
Well, thank you for joining us again on the morning show, Jacob Mark. Well, what's your take on the crisis going on in the PDP? Wike supporters insisting that he has been treated badly and that a delegation must go to Port Harcourt to go and appeal to him not to leave the party and not to work against the presidential standard-bearer who refused to choose him as a running mate.
First of all, I agree that after primaries in any political party, there are usually upheavals, there are misgivings, there are hard feelings, but it takes political maturity to handle all those things without breaking the house. And this is not going to be the first time, and it's not going to be the last time that these issues will arise. The PDP has capacity and should be able to weather the storm. But it depends on the people, the very principal people involved. The flag bearer himself takes the first slot. He must, and I say with emphasis, that he must disregard those urging him to be politically maybe inconsiderate. Because there are people who are anxious. It must be put in place to reunite the House, to keep everybody on focused for the big target, that is unseating this incompetent government. And I am happy that Nyesom Wike, His Excellency, upon returning to the country, made it very clear that he's not leaving the party, that all the issues arising from the primaries and the selection of a running mate will be sorted out after the APC has been booted out of Asorok. I was very happy to hear that. And I think every other person in the party should take advantage of that. And people should climb down from their high horses. People should discard this winner-takes-all approach. There must be no room for political arrogance where you disregard people who have been hurt, feelings of being ignored. And you cannot, at this stage, facing a big election like the one we're talking of, ignore people. I have seen the names of governors who are together with Nyesom Wike. You will be committing political suicide if you elect to ignore such people. I have listened to former Governor Jam. I have listened to former Governor Fayoshe. I have listened to the voice of Makinde. I have heard from Otom. I mean, these are stakeholders of the party. And going into a general election where you want to unseat a ruling party, you will be politically incorrect to ignore such people. And I think the party needs a meeting point where all parties, all persons that are aggrieved should be talked to, should be discussed with, should be given respect before we move forward. And I am happy that the chairman of the BOT made this very clear, that he is going to ask that such a meeting should take place, either in Abuja or Port Harcourt, it doesn't matter the venue. But people must open their arms and discuss. This discussion is urgently needed by by all members of the party who are serious about winning election in 2023. There is no way the election can be won if the House is not brought together. And if all parties are not assuaged of either misgivings or ill feeling, we cannot go into any election with a scattered House.
What do you make of the position of the national chairman of the PDP, Senator Iyorchia Ayu, who is constantly being reminded of his assurances that he would step down should a northern presidential candidate emerge? He's also been accused of being anti-Wike by describing Governor Aminu Tambuwal of Sokoto as the hero of the National Convention because he stepped down in favor of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, and that he also did not support the selection of Governor Wike as the vice presidential candidate. Some people feel that he should no longer be chairman of PDP and he should certainly not be a part of this reconciliation committee. Can the PDP afford to go to a general election next year with simmering resentment towards your national chairman from certain quarters?
So the question of chairman, most of the things that have been said are speculations, because the only one statement that can be verified is the one he made about Tambuwal. And I think that was in the heat of the successful primaries conducted. The PDP and all political parties have always encouraged the idea or the process of stepping down or supporting the other candidates to streamline. So I believe that his statement was in the heat of the successful primaries to just indicate that it was a good thing that Tambuwal stepped down. If he had stepped down for Governor Wike, probably he would have said the same thing. I think the position of the national chairman, as indicated in his statements, were just fatherly statements. However, we must not lose sight of the fact that the national chairman cannot come from the same northern zone with the presidential candidate. But like someone has said, these are issues that should be sorted out after the election. Because if you go into the rumpus of getting another chairman now, it will be a big distraction to the party before the general elections. And I think before the Congress that brought up the national chairman, these discussions were also held that if a northern candidate emerges as the flag bearer of the party, the chairman, who is from the north, will step down. That understanding was there. And I think nobody will argue about it, but it is the timing that matters. When should that happen? Should it be after the election or should it be before the election? And I personally would think it is better for us to fight and win the election than such discussions should be undertaken again.
So what if that same matter is now a sticking point before the elections, and some people are saying he should abide by the law before the elections? And how are you sure that if you still have him in place, you win the election when the members are disgruntled? Because that's a sticky point.
I agree with you that it is a sticky point, but it is expedient for people, members of the party, stakeholders of the party, to sit and discuss these matters. The timing is very important. Yes, that understanding exists and it should be implemented. But I'm very, very skeptical about the timing, whether it should be now and right now when we have a lot of misgivings here and there, and when we have instability. Should we again ignite more firepower before the election? Or should we, as a family, sit down and agree that, look, this should be implemented, but it should be after we have won the elections? The elections are there to be won. We have very big issues, big battles facing the party. It is not the internal issues that should consume our time now. And I can say without any doubt that the national chairman, as he stands, is aware of that discussion and should not in any way argue with it. Members of the party are aware of that discussion, and it should be implemented.
Well, some platforms are reporting Governor Wike and his supporters have indicated that they are not interested in meeting with any committee or anybody. What could be the implication of that stance for the fortunes of the party? If indeed he refuses to attend to any delegation coming to see him.
I'm not too sure that is true.
Well,
happily,
I've read reports like that. So I'm not making it up. I'm quoting reports that I have read.
His house has become like a mecca where people from all political parties, not just the PDP, are visiting him. So I'm not sure it is correct for everybody to assume or say that he has shut his door against the PDP. The party he has vowed to support to victory, the party he has reassured and reaffirmed after returning from his trip that he belongs there and that all issues will be sorted out after the APC has been kicked out of government. I don't think His Excellency Wike is that kind of person that will shut his door against his political party.
Well, no.
I don't think so.
No, I didn't say he has threatened to shut his door. But it is out there in the public domain that when he was in Istanbul,
Yes.
Turkey, someone was sent to him, former police affairs minister, Adamu Waziri, who went to his hotel to see him. He was sent, we're told, by Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. And he flatly refused to engage the gentleman in any conversation or receive any message from Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. What is the guarantee that he will open his doors to that 9-member committee that Senator Jibril was talking about?
Certainly, if I was in Wike's shoes, I might likely have shut my door against Waziri, the governor, the former police affairs minister. He didn't contest the election with me. He didn't purchase nomination form. On what basis was he coming to see him? In any case, the flag bearer of the PDP has access to him directly. There was no point sending anybody to see him. It was unnecessary, and for it to even come to the public domain is also an issue that ought not to be brought to the public domain, because the parties know who is to talk to who. There are levels in this matter, and if you want to win election, you must personally take responsibility of visiting those who matter, of talking to those who matter. You can't be sending errands through third parties. It's not a matter that you trivialize by sending errand boys. It's not possible. And I think if the committee that the BOT chairman is talking about is properly constituted and Wike is notified, he will certainly receive those people. The committee will certainly be received because he's a team player. He's somebody that would love to have a team work together with him, not an individual come to his hotel to visit him. It is not correct. And it was not correct to do that. A team from the party, a constituted team from the structures of the party, the BOT or the NWC or the NEC, if they set up a team to go and visit UK, I am very sure he will welcome them.
And I'm sure your certainty is reassuring for some people listening to you now. But what would have to be offered to him? White flag or mea culpa might not suffice. What would have to be put on the table for Governor Wike to be reassured that he is respected by his party?
Well, I didn't get that fully.
I asked you what would have to be put on the table for Governor Wike to feel that he's been respected by his party.
Well, the first thing is to do this visit or this discussion that we're talking of, properly convened by the structures, the recognized structures of the party, the BOT, the NEC, and other bodies. Once you do that, every party member, not just Wike, will feel you have shown respect and you have shown inclusiveness. And that is what is required at this time of house building. We must show respect. And the structures of the party must spring into action. Take proactive steps. Don't wait for people to get angry or to show their anger. It's unnecessary. And it's something that has been done in the past. Mending fences is part of political bricksmanship. And the party leadership must take advantage of the situation created by Governor Wike, wherein he said he remains a member of the party. And that should be taken care of. Once you do that, the man will feel you respect him. And then two, after the election, of course, there are positions that will be shared. He should be assured that he will be part of that sharing. This politics is all about reward for loyalty. If you don't reward people for loyalty, you don't deserve their respect. You don't deserve their continuity. And that is what everybody who is participating in this politics is expecting, that there will be inclusiveness, that you will not come and grandstand after winning and sideline those who contributed to your victory. This has caused a lot of friction in the past, when politicians win an election and then sideline those who supported them into victory. It's wrong, and it should never be accommodated. So I believe that the current effort by the BOT and other structures of the party to speak and to engage and to show respect is the first step in the right direction.
Okay.
Once that is done, we'll get the result that we expect.
Okay, Mr. Jacob Mark, I just hope this your sharing gets to the suffering Nigerians in the Dumota and some other parts of Lagos and other parts of Potiskum and Nigeria. I just hope this sharing goes round. But I'd like to ask you this. Some people are saying this committee will visit Wike once Alhaji Atiku Abubakar returns from his vacation. And some are saying that, is it not emergent enough for Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to cancel his vacation and come and settle this matter now? There's another school of thought that is also saying that people in the Wike camp have said the things they want, and that will involve substitution of Okowa and Wike, which they claim can still be done according to the electoral laws as we speak. There's still a time for substitution, and they're also talking about Yocha Ayu leaving. Anyway, you've addressed that concern before. What would you say about these two statements on ground?
Well, the information available is that Atiku Abubakar, His Excellency, is due back to the country this week. And if that is so, every other issue will be subsumed into what he does after his return. And I think all those around him
Mr. Mark Jacob?
he needs to treat it. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Are you there?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Yes. I think I've had most of those around him say they endorse the current move to get him to sit with all those aggrieved. And I've seen a statement credited to him that says that all persons that have grievances within the party will be given their due respect and will be spoken to. The timing, I think, is what should be addressed. So if he's due back within this week, I think there is no need for him to cut short his vacation since he's already due back. I'm aware that some of those who traveled with him, some have even returned. So there's no urgency in him cutting short his vacation to come back. But immediately he comes, I think it is important that that visit or that discussion between him and Wike and other persons should be done, particularly governors and other stakeholders that have a role to play in the general elections. I think nobody should be ignored.
Well, what do you say to those members of the PDP who are saying, look, Wike is just throwing tantrums, he should be ignored, and that in any case, how many votes can he bring? How much influence can he exercise? Because there are members of the party, who are saying that. What do you say to those persons?
No, those are spoilers. Those are not people who want to invest in the victory of the PDP come 2023. Those are people who have personal issues, either with Wike or they want to settle scores. And you don't do that in elections. Look, even if it is one vote that someone can bring, you don't ignore him. And Wike is not a one-vote person. His state alone, the votes that come from River State are equal to the votes that come from 2 other states. These details we know. And nobody should trivialize that. If a governor like Wike, and like I'm saying, he's not alone. He has the support of several other governors. And if they team up together and say they are not interested, or if people now say ignore them, they are equally just saying forget the 2023 election. There is no way we can win an election with that behavior. That's grandstanding. And that is not positive towards victory. It can never work if PDP wants to win an election. Those who are saying such things are either in the kindergarten of politics or they are just spoilers who want to go out and encourage the PDP into failure.
Well, in all of this, not much has been said about the perspective of Ifeanyi Okowa. Do you know his thoughts on the current argument, including those arguing that he should step down for Governor Wike and those arguing quite vehemently that he must not? What's your take on his own very delicate position here?
His Excellency Okowa did not nominate himself. Somebody nominated him. The misgivings surrounding his nomination have nothing to do with him. He didn't nominate himself. So he cannot also step down. The persons involved in the nomination of the running mate for Atiku Abubakar have the mandate of saying either step down or withdrawing his nomination. But I don't even think this is important because people, particularly those outside the pitch of play, want into commentary that has no basis. The discussions that will take place within the next few weeks will sort out all these issues because it doesn't look healthy, actually, to be talking of withdrawing someone who has been nominated. His name has been given to INEC. He has even done a reception in his state, or people in his state did a reception for him. You also want to hurt all those people. He has already started going around. I am aware that he has visited Sokoto State. I'm aware that he has held meetings in Abuja, in Lagos, in Delta. So what do you want to make of him if you now say he should be withdrawn? It's unnecessary. I think that PDP, if it wants to win election, should just look for how to sort out these issues quietly, far away from the media, talk to each other, sit down on a round table and sort things out. And it is doable. Within a week, all this can be sorted out. People will embrace themselves, I know. And the leaders of the party should take the necessary steps, and quickly too. People outside the PDP will be happy if there is implosion. But the leaders of the party should know that it is not time to allow the personal grievances to explode. There must be quick steps taken to address these issues. And I know the party will do it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mark Jacob, for your time. Really appreciate it.